Hi everybody, welcome to my channel if this is your first time here, and if this isn't your first time here, then welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a very interesting video where I compare this WOC right here to my classic WOC, as well as some of my other Chanel goodies. So you might be asking yourself, okay, like what's the point of comparing these two? Well, believe it or not, this one is actually a replica. It is not from Chanel, and it is what you call a high quality replica. So these go on the market for about like $300 to $400, which is a lot. So I'm going to be breaking down this replica right here, comparing it to my actual bag, seeing what the differences are, how the quality is. You know, lately there's been a lot of news saying, you know, the Chanel 22S is really bad quality, you know, bad stitching on other Chanel bags, crooked flaps, all of that stuff. So I'm curious, how is the quality of this replica bag, and is it even maybe better built and better structured than an actual Chanel bag? So that's what we're going to go through today, so stay tuned to find out. We're going to go through everything from the bag to the packaging, authenticity cards, everything in between. So yeah, please stay tuned. And really quickly before that, if you could give this video a like, please subscribe down below and follow my Instagram, which I'll put right here if you haven't already. I'm just trying to post more frequently on there, but trying to get a little bit more traction on there. So yeah, would greatly appreciate that. And with all that being said, let's dive into the video. Before I actually got into this bag, I wanted to put a disclaimer, especially as we're dealing with replica bags, you know, to each their own. I'm going to be putting the information of this bag in the description box if you did want to more specifically, you know, check it out and look at the details. My personal opinion is I will not use replicas. I don't really believe in them, you know, especially for a high quality replica like this where it's $300 to $400. You know, I guess like at that point you're really just paying for the image. I think for $300 to $400 you could get plenty of other great bags like Coach, or like save a few $100s and get like a YSL wristlet. Or I just posted my last video, which I will link up here. There's great quality bags out there that aren't name brand, that look like they could be name brand, and they're a fraction of the price. So I'll post like some pictures right here, but I mean, my Simbono bags, I love them. They're great quality. They're all around like $75, and I don't have to worry about, you know, oh, is this fake? What if somebody can tell I'm wearing a fake? Or just like how this bag was produced. It's not really clear where it's coming from, what the materials are. So I personally don't believe in replicas, but if you do, you know, to each their own. And again, details will be in the description box below if this is something that you would actually like to purchase. You know, besides all of that stuff, I just wanted to make this video also because I know a lot of you guys are turning towards the secondhand market as prices increase. So if I was just a, you know, Chanel newbie, this was my first purchase, I didn't have anything to compare it to, and I saw this, you know, going online for a few $100s, and it was saying like missing box or missing packaging, and it just came with a bag, I think you can easily be fooled. So I hope that this video can give you some good things to look out for when you are purchasing something that is Chanel online, to help you authenticate the bag yourself. So starting off with the packaging, this is the box that came with the replica Chanel bag. I unfortunately don't have the same size box for my actual WOC, because if you guys know, I got this in Paris. So the box is a little bit different than the normal, you know, Chanel black boxes. But for comparison, I do have this one right here, which came with my Chanel wallet, which I'll link up atop. But I don't know if you can see, but to be honest, there isn't that big of a difference in the box. I don't know if you can see, and I think it is picking up on camera, but the black of the authentic Chanel boxes, it's not a dark, you know, pitch black. It almost has like a matte finish, which makes it look almost like a light black, like very dark gray, versus this box right here, you can see it's like a very dark black. So again, that's pretty minor, pretty small, but that's just one thing off the bat that caught my eye. But you know, at the end of the day, I don't think the box makes a big difference. However, flipping it over, you will see this right here, which I think is a dead giveaway. You know, nothing on a authentic Chanel box would have like a sticker, especially in Chinese. I don't really know what this says. I cannot read it, unfortunately, but you know, nothing else, you know, is on my other Chanel boxes. So I don't know why they stuck this here, but this is a dead giveaway. And to be honest, I think packaging, you know, I'll get into it, besides the box, is where you can tell off the bat if what you got is fake or if it's authentic. Really quickly, if we're able to zoom in, I don't know if you can see that, but at the bottom of the letters right here, it's not completely even. Like this H sort of goes up a bit. This A right here is uneven as well. this N and like especially that E, you can see that it's not an even line, which means it wasn't printed on correctly. So I think that's also a giveaway. This in conjunction, you know, in case this didn't do it for you, that's one thing. Chanel would never actually release their boxes with this uneven printing. Now going into the dust bags, this is the authentic dust bag for a WOC, and this is the one that came with a replica. To be honest, I think the dust bag is actually pretty spot on. Nothing much to see there. So yeah, I know with a lot of replica bags, they just won't even sell you the packaging. They'll just give you the bag in case that you can use any of the packaging to, you know, call anything out. But yeah, to be honest, this dust bag is pretty much good to go. However, there is one thing that I would like to show you. So let me move all of this to the side. So each Chanel item will always come with this little booklet right here that goes over any details. So this is the one that came with my authentic Chanel WOC, and let me pull out the one that came with this replica. It is right here. So I don't know if you can see, but number one, booklet is on this one a lot more white. This seems really almost old and yellowy. Again, I don't think it's picking up on camera, but this just looks a lot older. Actually going ahead and opening it up, which it's getting stuck right now. Yeah, I don't know if you can tell, but it just looks like it's, I don't know, been printed for a while and it's starting to yellow. But other than that, you know, pretty much looks very, very similar. So yeah, that's one thing to be cautious of, but you know, I don't think it's anything too jarring off the bat. So let me put those to the side. One other thing that's interesting is it did come with, you know, all the Chanel wrapping and the ribbon. The ribbon, I will actually have to say, looks pretty similar to the real one. But of course, the real Chanel one, they would never just like wrap it like this. But this is some of my authentic Chanel ribbon. And as you can see, it's like pretty much the same size. And the font too is pretty similar. I think the one on the replica is a bit more bold and, you know, pushed together. Versus the authentic one is a little bit more spaced out. But overall, if I didn't own anything Chanel, didn't have anything to compare to, I honestly would not know better. So that is one interesting thing to note. Another interesting thing to note is this one came with, there it is, silicone packets. I don't think, you know, you'd ever get silicone packets with your items, especially if you buy them in store. That's an automatic no-go. I've never bought anything shipped. So tell me otherwise if you've ever received silicone packets with your items. But again, you know, I've never seen this, and that is one thing you might want to note. Authenticity card, which I'll go over later, but yeah, other than that, pretty standard. And here was the information of the store, so I'll just leave that there in case you guys wanted to see. But yeah, now let's dive into the actual bag itself. Now you might be asking yourself, you know, it's not a fair comparison to compare caviar to this seasonal WOC, but actually I was thinking of getting a caviar one, but then caviar really differs season to season. So even if I were to compare like two authentic caviar WOCs, it would look different. So I figured it'd be a little bit more interesting to see how well they could pull off a seasonal piece. And again, WOCs, besides the leather or, you know, the outside, they're all structured the same, so we can compare everything else. So let's just go ahead and let's start from the inside. Since again, from the outside, it's gonna be pretty standard, really nothing much to look at here. And I compared the outside and, you know, the sort of flap of the bag to the actual pictures on the website, and for the most part everything matches up. So the stitching and everything, like how many quilts, how the quilts start, like as you can see, like this is half a quilt and then there's like two full quilts, so that matches up with what's on the website. Just another packaging thing, you know, unless you buy this secondhand and the person who sells it to you says that this is how they store their bags, when you get it from the boutique, it's never actually going to come with this type of styrofoam. Chanel doesn't use styrofoam. If anything, they use felt coverings. So that is one thing to note. So let's go ahead and let's open this bag. So opening it up, we can see that it pretty much looks pretty similar, to be honest. And I know that these are two different types of bags, but the general construction is the same. So we have the zipper at the top, and then we have the card holders that are right there. And that's the exact same thing with the authentic Chanel WOC, where you have their card holders right there. We have the pocket here, zipper here. So same thing, we have the pocket here, which is harder to see since this one is all black. And then we have the zipper here. So again, nothing jarring when you just look at it. However, one of the other dead giveaways is, if you'll see right here, you know, whoever made this, they were somewhat smart. They're like, okay, this is a new seasonal bag. All the seasonal Chanel WOCs now come with a plaque. So you might look at this plaque and be like, oh wow, like it has a plaque, it's the newest one, therefore it's authentic. But as I briefly showed you, this came with an authenticity card. A Chanel bag that has a plaque is never going to come with an authenticity card. So if you see both, that, in my opinion, is a dead giveaway. So I'll compare this authenticity card with my real one from one of my older Chanel bags to give you an idea of, just in case you are getting an older model, you can see how the authenticity card is supposed to look if it's actually real. But that's another dead giveaway. But just off the bat, I mean, I have to say it, but this is a great duplicate. And I think that it's pretty impressive, and it's honestly sort of scary because, again, if I hadn't bought anything Chanel before, I didn't get any of the packaging. The person just sold this online saying, oh, I lost all my packaging, here's a bag. And, you know, they bought maybe a real Chanel desk bag and a real Chanel box online, let's say, and only the bag was fake. I really think I would be tricked because the quality, you know, if you feel this leather, or I don't know if it's leather, but what I think is leather, it actually feels pretty good. And I'll attach some pictures of what's on, you know, the website and some other stuff I've been able to find online, but it almost looks identical. So we have this right here, the clasps, and this is a seasonal one. You can see it has a little bit of engraving. It matches what's on the website. The top right here, the Chanel. Again, it's pretty much matches exactly what is on the Chanel website and some other websites I found. If you look at the inside, the leather zip right here is different than the one that is in the Classic. So the Classic, you can see it's this sort of metal pull. This one does come with a leather pull, so they did match that. So that isn't a giveaway. It's just with a seasonal bag, they decided to use this type of leather pull zipper. This matches what's on the authentic bags. It says Chanel Paris, and there's two sort of little bolts right there. This Chanel engraving right here matches as well. These right here where the chain goes through, since this has grommets, also matches. There isn't any, you know, logos or anything like that, but that's how it is on the actual Chanel WOC too. And yeah, I mean, everything else pretty much matches almost exactly. So as you can see, just one final look, you know, they are definitely super, super similar. Now I'm going to show you this WOC's leather compared to my other seasonal bag that is calfskin, just so you can get an idea for an ungrained leather. So this is calfskin and this is supposedly lambskin. As you can see, the sheen of it all looks pretty similar. And of course, lambskin leather has, you know, this thing where it usually sometimes can look like deflated or a lot more depuffed. So you'll see that sometimes like in the pearl crushes, but the calfskin, you know, besides how puffy the leather is, it almost looks identical. But again, leather differs season to season. So if you were actually buying authentic bags, you know, the leather looking like this isn't an indicator that, you know, it's necessarily like a replica. What I will say about this bag is, let me just make sure, it has an interesting smell to it. You know, my Chanel bags still smell like leather, even after I've used them and had them for over a year. This one has, I don't want to say like a chemically or like a fragrant smell, but it just doesn't really smell like leather. Like if anything, it smells like packaging. So that is one thing that you want to take into consideration. You know, the replicas, they won't tell you what it's made out of, but I'm not sure if this is genuine leather or if it's just something else. But, you know, to be honest, if you want a replica and you're totally fine knowing that it's a replica, you're fine to pay $300 to $400 rather than putting it to something else, I honestly think you could get away with this, especially these seasonal bags where at this point where Chanel is coming out with so many at a time, SAs can't even keep track of all the bags that are coming out. So if you were just wearing this on the street, I honestly don't think anybody could tell a difference. Let me just give you one closer look. So this is the bag up front. As we can see, it has these little engravings in the CC. Back is just pretty basic. There's no Mona Lisa pocket for the Trendy CC WOCs. Top has the Chanel plaque. We have the turn lock, the classic zip, which you can open and it'll go all the way down. Card slots, the regular opening, this little pocket right here. You know, it says made in Italy, which matches my WOC, the plaque right there, and then this other opening right here. And then other than that, it's just the chain that goes through the grommets. I'll bring you guys a bit further, and one thing that I wanted to address is the symmetry of this bag is actually really good. What I mean by that is the quilting, it matches the authentic bags, the lining of the flap is completely straight, and if you've been around at Chanel for a while, you know that can't always be said for some of the other bags. So I've literally gone in store and I've seen WOCs or classic flaps where the flap is crooked. So like, for example, I don't know if I can show you, but it was essentially, no, I can't show you this one since it's pretty stiff. But like the left corner would be higher than the right, or like vice versa. I'll try to attach some pictures if I can. I know I've seen it in store. I can try to find some pictures online. But I mean, yeah, there might be even some WOCs that are actually sold from Chanel that look worse than this, which is absolutely nuts to me. But yeah, that is also one other thing I wanted to note. Okay, now in case you are buying an old bag, I'm gonna show you how the authenticity looks on a real one. So this right here is my authenticity card. And this right here is the fake one. So as you can see, there's like these shimmers of gold on it right here. And that's not like anything dirty, it's just I think the way it was printed. And as you can see, like it's sort of rubbing off there at the top. So I think that's a dead giveaway. The actual one is also just a lot heftier. And then let me turn it around without actually showing you my numbers. But so this is how the back looks. And again, they try to do that embossing right there. This is the real one. I don't know if you can see that, but the gold and the numbers just seems a lot more reflective versus this just seems like it's printed on in the color gold versus like this is almost stamped in, if that makes sense. And looking at the actual plaque for where the CC is. So again, this is the real one. I don't know if you can see that, it's very subtle. And this is the one from the fake one. So honestly, these not that big of a difference. In terms of pricing, the regular WOC is right under $3,000 right now, $2,950. And this WOC right here, because it is seasonal and it is the Trendy CC style, this one is actually right under $4,000, which is crazy. You're paying $1,000 more for, I'm guessing, this plaque. Other than that, it's pretty much the same. So even though this is a really expensive replica at $400, technically it's, you know, a tenth of the actual item. So again, worth is intrinsic, to each your own, but that is one thing to note as well. So yeah, that is my final review and what I have to say on this. Overall thoughts, the bag itself was made very well and I'm honestly quite shocked. The packaging is actually where it was a giveaway that, you know, the item was fake in terms of the authenticity card, the box itself, but the bag itself was actually made pretty well compared to some other fakes out there. And again, for me personally, I still wouldn't pay $400 for this, but if this is your jam, then, you know, this is what a good fake should look like. And again, not saying I'm endorsing it, but I just wanted to make this video purely for information and to give you guys some details as to the bags that are out there. Not saying that you should or shouldn't, you can do whatever you want with your own money. But yeah, I just found this really interesting. And yeah, I'm honestly more pleasantly surprised than I thought it would be. I thought the bag itself would be a lot more obvious, but actually not. Like, again, if you could feel this leather, it looks really, really shiny. So yeah, what did you think of this? Do you think that it was actually, you know, made really well and you could actually see yourself buying this instead of an actual one? You know, I'm really curious to hear your thoughts. So yeah, please let me know what you guys think down below. Give this video a like if you found it helpful, and please subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you on my future videos. Bye.